Hi, this match game is between Nick Cummings and Matthew McNabb at the Canterbury Chess Club last night's date, the 22nd of August 2018. Now this is quite a bit of a game actually, and it's sort of a wee bit up and down in regards to what's going on. I don't know what I'm actually saying, but all I'm saying is this is 1 hour and 15 minutes plus, I believe, 30 seconds increments each time one presses the clock. So as I've mentioned before, someone comes along and puts the time back on the clock every time someone makes a move. Not. So anyway, let's get into it. So Nick is white, and Nick is a very strong chess player, one of the strongest in the South Island of New Zealand, and Matthew McNabb is equal to that. They've both had very good results, and that's the thing. So here they are paired up together, and so let the pieces do the talking, David Wegener. And here I have got the computer on because I'm going to ask the computer for help at certain times because I'm not very good at analysing it purportedly. So c4, c5, I don't have to turn the computer on to ask them what they suggest for white or black here because this is quite symmetrical. Knight f3, but maybe after e6 we do. I'm just joking. So g3, d5, bishop g2, of course, yeah, everyone knows the moves. d4. So now we've got a pretty absolute array of pawns in the center, castling, and then comes knight c3, and here we have the first point in the position that I saw this position here. And so I'm now going to ask the computer what they play. Yes, they play queen d4, which is the move I thought that white could play here, but Nick played knight d4. So that's not saying it's bad or anything, but here comes e5. Now these pawns are going to become quite damaging to white's game and their opening procedure and such like. But just watch how things progress. So knight f3, now we have the d4 move, which is obviously threatening the knight on c3, so the knight wants to do something about it. There was some suggestion, maybe from me, of this move here. Whether it's any good or not is another question, because if the black knight takes, then pawn takes, then the knight can move away, sort of thing. Discovery check to the queen on d5 with the bishop on g2, etc. But I'm not entirely sure. So knight d5. Oh, this is the first time I've looked at this, so let's just see what the computer reckons here. Oh, that is interesting, because obviously if e4, then, and black is now threatened with knight g5, winning, because it attacks the queen and also offers up checkmate on h7 with the queen. So queen d6 and knight g5, and that's threatening the checkmate, of course. So black plays g6 here, and then we go f4, but this is a different game, of course. So forth. So let's go back to the game actual. So knight d5, I'm quite interested that I thought knight d5, only the people last night can tell what I thought, but Nick has gone to knight b1. Now now Matt as he's known, develops another piece, and whereas white is behind a little bit in development here, and also that of these marauding pawns in the center, where the computer's just suggesting this move next. A3. Now we will just see what the computer says here, okay? What Fritz 11 recommends. Knight D2. Right. So maybe play from white was a little bit passive, especially probably A3, which may help black's game. I believe that if knight D2, then if E4, then black has to meet knight G5, and E3. I will try to attempt this without bungling the game. Maybe E3. I'm not saying Matthew would play this move, but maybe E3 would be the move. I might just have a look what the computer recommends. Knight G4, which is all very interesting stuff, really. Very kind of grubby, and actually probably serving the players pretty well. So black's actually an exchange down now, but it's really grovelly. So here we go back to A3. So this is going to be a bit of a comprehensive study of this game last night, because I was actually bewildered in what white can do against these very mature looking pawns on E5 and D4. This move I'm not happy with, Queen A4. I'm not happy with this move myself, but who am I to speak? But here we've got knight D2. Now this just Queen A4 looks like well, I'm just telling myself all the time, you don't want to play your queen out into the fray. It invites knight D7. Maybe it doesn't. Knight D2. Now it goes back to C2. So the computer suggests queen C2. Knight B D2. So now, if we look at the situation, black's almost developed, and white's a couple of moves behind at least, and still going to meet this dreadful sort of situation of the I've lost the thread, doesn't matter. So anyway, B4. Okay, that's what the computer suggests is bishop H3. B4, E4. So sadly for white is just an onlooker here, while black decides where they want to place their pawns, etc. My neck's a bit sore and back. Knight E1. Now, have we got anything else here? Yes, that's it. That's the correct move. That's the move that was played, so we'll just carry with that. And knight C5, we will go, I believe, queen D1 here for white. Yes, queen D1, but that's not what was played. It's queen C2. Now, I think I heard Matthew say something in regards to this lost a tempi. Now, tempi is, strictly speaking, tempo, just like piano lessons and all that sort of thing, which we all love so much. So, queen C2, and this gives black a tempi, or tempo, or whatever, and black queen, white queen has to do something about being attacked, of course. So the initial response is the stimuli is taken on d3 by white, and so here is possibly what Matthew was speaking about more so, is that now the tempo is that obviously if queen c3, then knight e2 is check and winning the queen on c3. So we will just see what the computer says, which is the move that was played, of course. Queen d1, and then we have this. Okay. Now, what will we do now? Possibly we could look for white to maybe just lift this pawn off d3 by this. This maybe, I'm not saying that's a good move, this is the move that the computer gives, is bishop e2, but I believe that without checking the computer, I believe that white stands worse than black, as would be appreciated by the players as well. Is that the move that Nick played? Is it bishop b2? I don't know. Knight, yes it is. So what does the computer? So he got that right. Good. Well done. I'm very impressed with this game. Bishop b2, knight e2 check. So king h1, we don't need to look at that move. f4. Here's another point to, they have to play this all in a reasonable time limit too. Here's another point at play here. Knight e4, and I don't know if that was the move. I think that Nick played something different. Knight ef3. So here the computer gives knight e4, and I can see why. We're just going to have a look at this. Knight e4, new variation, f3. Yes, here we go. Knight c5. Oops, this does not too good. Knight d3. Yep, this could be right. Queen e7, knight e5. Very, very wild chess, isn't it? Now, I can see some analysis, guys. Hey guys, I can see some analysis, I think. Knight c4, we all can see the queen check this time. New variation. I hope I don't mess this up. And f3. So anyway, we're going back here, as that was just computer analysis, so it should behave itself. Knight ef3, hg3, fg3, fg3, bishop g4, queen e1. I actually saw this move, not only being played, but I actually saw this move, so it's good to see very strong players' moves. So queen e1, I thought queen e1 here. It's good, I'm pleased. Bishop f6. Now, here is a position that I would here think, well, I'm either going to keep the tension or get rid of it. So in this position, I would probably, maybe wrongfully, just take this bishop on f6. And I'm wondering if the computer's done Nick's move. So I stand wrong again. So knight e5 is what Nick played here. And so I was wrong. I was thinking, just when I was looking at this game, I'd probably play bishop f6 to relieve the tension and the pin and all those sorts of things. Bishop h5, rook f5. I don't think that move was played. Here we have bishop d5, very natural looking move. So Nick played the right move here, queen f2. And I have been instructed by him that the computer thought some of the moves were very, very good that he played, or the correct ones, and so forth. So anyway, here we go. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong there. I thought that Nick had played queen f2, but that's what the computer had played, queen f2. So now this is the actual position, and g4 happens. Now, I don't think this is a very good move. Rook b1 is a little bit more preventative. g4. So obviously rook b1 is slightly better because it bolsters up the bishop on b2 with a defense. g4, and this sadly got snaffled for white. Now comes these rather passionate knights, and they look quite scary. Queen a1, and then what is black to do? d2. And now this is met by knight e5. And what would really annoy you is the following move, which is queen e5. Now, after queen takes here, we will just see what the computer says here. Knight f3. Ouch. Oh, that's horrible. I don't even want to look at that for anyone's purposes. Rook f8. Rook f8. Queen d1. Knight g3. Now this is soon the end. Now the thing is that from what I can understand here is that if hg3, then I would just play here, I think, queen e1 check. Yes, that's what the computer plays. So this, I think that's what Matt intended, Matthew McNabb. So here we've got this knight check. So we've got this. This is horrible. So we don't want to look at that. So king g2 happened. Now this just queen g5, and this is the end of their match game, which they played quite a lot of moves. I mean, quite not very many moves in the basically the 2.5 hours plus the increments time. So they didn't really play many moves, but this went on right till the end of this game. So they utilized their time quite considerably. So that is the end of this wee sort of session on the match game that occurred between Matthew McNabb as black and Nick Cummins as white. And so I hope that both of them keep playing chess games like this, so I can at least show the great talent that we've got in New Zealand, at least in the South Island as well as the North, of course. So that's David Wegener over and out, coming to you all the way live, possibly not, from Christchurch, New Zealand. Thank you very much. That's me over and out. Hope I did reasonable with the analysis, guys, and represented your game reasonably well too. It was my pleasure. I really enjoy it.